without it.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Well,
Well,
pretty fly for a white guy.
well, you guys get ties supplied to you, and I have to bring my own. What's the deal with that?
That's because your ties are much fancier, and a man like you needs a tie of a higher class.
Oh,
Yep.
Good point. Good
Gotta
point.
have something to match the hair, you know.
Okay.
All right, so RorO 5-1 versus Zerg. Pretty impressive record in general. Like, he's not up at 20 wins like Hero is, but 17-6 is a pretty good ratio.
That is a sick ratio.
So
Sick, man.
very stellar ZVZ out of this guy.
Definitely one of the best Zergs in the world, without a doubt. Constantly impressing us all with his Zerg play. Sniper used to be an amazing Zerg player. I mean, used to be up there at the top, winning a GSL, I believe.
Yeah, in his
Quite
ZVZ
some time.
finals.
Yeah, exactly.
During the times of Zerg dominance, Broodlord and Fester. Ask any Protoss how they felt about that until people figured out that you could just do Archon toilets.
Long time ago.
His time was the time before the Archon toilet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, still even then with the Archon toilet, it was all about dancing and trying to avoid.
By the way, why was that
order.
decided to be called a toilet? Why did they
Because
just call it?
flushes.
You poop everyone into it, then you put Archons in there.
I don't know, man. I feel like it should have been called an Archon Vortex. I think that's what Blizzard would have liked anyway. But
everyone you like a nickname for stuff.
all right, we're going into Game 3 to find out which one of these Zergs is going to bring their team into the lead.
Actually, it's because it's so dirty.
Oh.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Down here in the bottom of the map, in the red for Samsung Galaxy Con, it's RorO.
He's up against the player to the top right of the map in blue, Sniper. Excellent in Zerg vs. Zerg, and Wings has had a bit of a lull in his career in recent times.
Since Heart of the Swarm, I would say, we haven't really seen him too much.
Yeah, he's not been as impressive. Now we have 10 drones here for RorO. We'll see if he extractor tricks. He's not really the 10 pool type. Okay, just gonna go for that early Overlord extractor trick. But the map here pretty big.
Big map, open, natural. Can be a lot of Zergling aggression on this map for sure. But we'll have to wait and see what these guys are going to play at. I mean, usually we see some sort of Zerglings versus Zerglings into Roach. Sometimes Muta. Muta, a lot more rare these days, though. Something we, I don't know. I don't really miss the Muta versus Muta. I kind of enjoy Roach versus Roach a lot more because it's just like, it's more straight up and it makes a lot more sense and there's less, I don't know, less luck involved, I feel.
Okay.
That's my opinion anyway, but I mean, still Muta versus Muta, very skillful. Still can be fun to watch.
I like it, actually. I like Muta versus Muta more than Roach versus Roach.
It's more volatile, I feel. But,
Yeah.
I mean, like, Roach versus Roach, it's just like, it's more multitasking, more run-bys, more harassment, and better positioning, and it goes the distance a lot more.
It's not just grouping up a bunch of units, like, all on one hotkey or anything.
Well, I mean, the Brood War in me says, well, remember Brood War's EVZ, and that was Muta versus Muta.
Yeah.
Of course, Speedlings, but
Yeah, it's more traditional for sure.
I like the Muta versus Muta. I was really happy when that was the way of things because it led to some very exciting matches. Roach versus Roach being the only viable way to play ZVZ right now in Korea has led to somewhat of a staleness. Because when it was in the era of Muta versus Muta at the very beginning of Heart of the Swarm, like the first season of Code S, for example, in Heart of the Swarm, there were still Roach pushes that were viable, right? And it was still like a lot of...
I mean, it was a lot harder to kind of get to the ball that you needed to deal with Muta Ling Bane. Like, you needed to get, like, Roach, Hydra, and Infestor out before you could really move out, and you'd have to get somehow secure that third base before the Mutas were on the map. And it was a lot harder to go Roach, but it was still possible. And, I mean, Mutas were just so much stronger, and they obviously needed to buff Spore Crawlers back then to really make any sort of anything else work, essentially.
And we still do see that Mutalisk can be viable at this current state of ZVZ. They're just very rare.
Yeah.
And not as viable, really. I mean, it's kind of a trick play, like you know, almost, I don't want to say gimmick, but, like, it's very much just like an unusual move, you know, a weird build.
Misrallied drone from Sniper, unless he's going to proxy hatch, which I don't think he will. Oh. And
Good prediction there, Moonglade.
As you were talking about, Muta can still work for sure, and it still kind of has the same principle of you got to stop that third base with Ling and Muta, and kind of go into a economic advantage. And you kind of want to end up as Roach essentially, but you can never really sit on Mutalist because they get counted too hard.
Very nice denying the scouting by RorO, but not the same here for Sniper. This Zergling is going to see everything.
Very important scout here. Sees that it was gasless opening. Sees how greedy he will. See how late the Zergling speed will be, and his Zergling speed for RorO is almost finished. So this is a great advantage. He can very well go for an instant third base from here because he knows he has complete map control for such a long time.
Look at this. Speedling all in incoming, I think.
Yep, complete Speedling all in. And there is no Spine Crawler only being made now, which is too late.
It's very far away from the ramp, too.
Very quick game incoming, I think.
Yeah, the Roach Warren here going down, not going to be too helpful. And his queens are actually not going to be at the ramp. Okay, sees the Lings coming the first wave at least.
Yeah.
And actually, this is not going to be a total all-in because he's taking the third base.
Ooh, nice.
Nice
this
block.
is huge. He tries to block it again. It's still actually not tight. Needs to get that queen on the spot. Oh, there's another hole here, too. He's going to get this queen and actually can just get free reign of the main base now. Possibly kill all the queens.
He's going to get all of these queens. He's got a full surround.
Spine not even ready in time here.
Third queen goes down. There's one more. He did make 4.
He's going to put that queen in the cranny.
It's gotten in the cranny now.
And there's a lot of damage. I mean, he killed a lot of queens, but he's going to fend it off. So the game isn't going to end just straight away, but he is so behind at this point, losing so many queens.
Well, he didn't go all in, so he's just put a nice spin on this game
Put
here.
a third base down, which is perfect play from here, and he's only getting further and further ahead.
Running around circles around those Zerglings for that speed advantage.
And this is so annoying to deal with for Sniper right now. Like,
no surround, he tries.
He could actually run out at any point, too.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think he has to.
No.
Especially because Sniper's not really splitting his Zerglings. He's actually just chasing them like right-click move.
And we see 3 gas, 2 fully saturated bases. He could just make Roach from here and maybe lightly saturate that third base, and he'll be in such an economic advantage and kind of army composition advantage.
He actually gets another pass.
Yeah, and he sees that there's no Zerglings being upgraded at all, so he knows that there's no threat of a counterattack if these Zerglings die.
I think part of the reason why he's not leaving is he's not certain if there's a queen blocking or not.
Yeah, and I mean, he doesn't have to. He gets full intel, and he's just running around in circles. Like, he knows exactly where the army is at all times.
He gets out, and that creep speed advantage. Peace, I'm out of here.
Later.
See ya, bro.
and these slowlings, so sad.
You slowlings will be there in a few minutes. I'm going to go get a coffee.
And look at how late this third base is compared to the third base of RorO. RorO's got so many drones. Like,
important to note, by the way, that Sniper does have the +1 advantage for the Roaches when they do come out. You know, much ahead. It's almost done right now.
Yep. And wow, that's a really saturated third base too. So that is like so greedy by RorO, but he can get away with it because of how much control he has at the moment.
And the Speedlings, he has the watchtower. It's a creep spread between his bases, actually, set up the highway.
To be honest, at this point, all he has to do is make Roaches. And sit there and make Roaches until he's got 200 pop. And he's going to pretty much a very good chance he can win because there's simply no way that Sniper can make an army that big.
Picks off a tumor because he knows that could slow down any attacks that come his way.
So it's going to be really up to Sniper if he's going to make a move very soon. We do see Roaches being made. But I mean, RorO at the same time is making Roaches as well. With
I don't think he's going to get this base, but he's just...
Too much time has passed.
He's trying to make sure the Roaches are not moving across the map to kill him. That's all he really has to do here.
Yeah, well, he's got perfect vision of that too. He's got Overlord and Overseers in great positions. And he's just harassing, seeing exactly what's going on, seeing that the base isn't up, seeing that there's no drones there waiting. And, yep, just making Roaches. Making as many Roaches as he can.
Roaching it up, man.
That's all he's got to do.
Machine.
SR. That's all he's got to be pressing right now. Maybe an SV at some point to make an Overlord.
Yeah, occasionally the V's on his teams.
Sometimes.
And, like, you know, he could SD it if he wants, you know. If he's
No,
feeling
he doesn't
super
need to
greedy.
do that. No, he's actually, he doesn't need to do that anymore. He's in...
No
he's in
chance
such
we'll see an
good place.
SZ, right? No, that won't happen.
I certainly hope not, considering they are 1+ Roaches.
Yeah, and actually it's double upgrade advantage right now for Sniper. And he should not be taking this fight, I don't think.
No, kind of throwing a bit away.
Yeah, this is actually really good for Sniper.
Yeah.
That's a good trade, but RorO is going to run away.
And I really want to look at the saturation on that third base for Sniper to kind of get an idea of what the economy is looking like for him, because it's a very important.
He's 5 drones down, but 4 more about to pop out, so looks like it's going to be pretty comparable.
Definitely getting back into this. Not taking too much damage at all, and keeping a good roach count, good positioning on his Zerglings and roaches.
Goop on the +2 here.
Good contaminate here. Could very well open up a timing for RorO to get a +2 ahead.
It's going to take him a while. He's going to have to do it multiple times if he wants that. But still, I mean, anything helps. Any advantage you can get.
Anything, yeah.
Oh, these roaches are actually out of position. So you got just a few too many to actually take the fight. Needs to walk away. And another overseer being made here. I think he's going to use it for the same purpose.
Yep.
Use it defensively, though.
And we see Roach Burrow movement as well as Burrow being upgraded. So we're going to go into that heavy like harassment style with burrowed roaches.
Just going to go ahead and trade their lings against each other.
Yeah, they have become completely irrelevant at this point.
He needs to get all of his roaches together. RorO cannot take a bad fight here. That would be like the one way that Sniper can really put himself back in place here.
Yep.
Burrow movement is done for RorO currently, and he's going to utilize it with those roaches over there to the top left. No, I guess just like left, the 9 o'clock.
Kind of giving away a concave advantage there. Got to be a little bit careful.
Burrow movement is known about. Let's see how he chooses to respond.
This is actually a huge counterattack as well.
A group of, I'd say, like 7 or 8 roaches over there.
Definitely going to stop the mining on the third base for some while. And this attack here from Sniper is going to have to kill. Going to have to do a lot of damage.
Let's see. Setting up here. Gets a pretty good concave, and RorO with a right-click move there allows Sniper to actually surround these roaches, but Defender's Advantage could come into play here. Don't forget about the upgrades. 1-1 right now for Sniper, and actually 2-1, in fact.
Oh, wow. This is huge.
He's way ahead of RorO in upgrades, and he's taking this fight big time. He's got reinforcements coming across the map as well.
That hatchery is being targeted, meanwhile, in the north. He might actually snipe the hatchery itself, but will it matter if he just dies here? That's the question. I think he might actually just have too many roaches. I think RorO may actually lose here in an upset.
Yep, I think so. The Remax just is not going to be enough. He's this close to the base. He can run in and intercept them all before they kind of group up.
Yep.
So he's always going to be in a disadvantage position-wise. And I mean, he took a really bad fight there. He didn't have the concave he wanted, and he had a lot of roaches over the other side of the map. So it was a great timing from Sniper.
And the upgrades, man. Too many upgrades ahead for Sniper here.
Yep.
Well, that's it, man. He's just fighting these roaches as they spawn, like you said, Moonblade, and one by one they fall. RorO is done here.
Yeah.
His record was pretty solid versus Zerg. 5-1, I believe. Now will be tainted. Completely pain of a loss here.
GG.
Wow.
MVP making this interesting.
Was not expecting that, that's for sure. RorO was in such a comfortable position, but I mean,
got too greedy. Took a really bad fight. Poor Micro there.
That was a horrible fight, and yeah, he kind of was so behind on the upgrades, and I think he moved out maybe too early with those roaches on the map. There's just no way for him to kind of like do damage and defend with like such a deficit in upgrades.
Yeah, like you said, Moonblade, he could have just sat back. He was ahead in economy big time, but somehow Sniper like pulled himself back. Like,
it's actually really impressive that he came back from that.
Yeah, very nicely done. I was really impressed with that game. Losing all those queens, holding strong though, continuing his upgrade advantage, knowing that was the tool that he had in this game.
That was his one advantage, yeah.
And he used it, man. Well, now we're going into what could be our final game. It's going to be the 4th game here of our second set between Reality and Super. And Super is a player who definitely could, pull off a win here against Reality. I'd favor him, in fact.
I favor him as well.
Yeah, I voted for Super.
Yeah, me too. And this is so bad for Samsung. They need this win. They need it. Like, it's so important. If they don't get it, they're basically, depending on a bunch of other teams to not do as well. And they would have to win their last game as well.
Very true. A win here would make them much more comfortable. There's no place to be comfortable for Samsung right now, but they would feel it, a little bit closer, a little bit more secure in themselves. And